everyone. So today we're doing the lower body meridians. So again, the meridian system is a network, a communication system that distributes the life force, the energy throughout our body and connects the 12 organs with all the other systems in our body. So the lower body meridians, remember, they work in pairs, the yin and yang, are the spleen and stomach. Spleen's the yin, stomach's the yang. The kidney, urinary, bladder meridians. Kidney's the yin, bladder's the yang. And the liver and gallbladder. So liver's the yin, gallbladder's the yang. So we're going to start with the stomach and spleen. And the key word for those, obviously you'd probably guess, is nurture, right? So it's how we feel nurtured by the world, whether we feel nurtured by the world. Rejuvenating sleep is governed by these meridians. So in Chinese medicine, they call the stomach the sea of nourishment. And they say that if the stomach isn't in balance, that affects all other organs of the body. And the spleen is responsible for creating antibodies. It's very crucial to the immune system, right? And as well as it transports the food that we eat, the energy from the food that we eat, mixes it with our prana, and distributes it throughout the body to nourish us. So if the spleen is out of balance, maybe too much worry, too much sweet intake will bring it out of balance, and we might be forgetful, we might obsess over things, and so that's the spleen being out of balance, worry too much. Yeah. So the stomach, the exercise for the stomach meridian is we're going to put pressure on stomach points, which are located right under the middle of the eye, about 2 fingers width down. So basically the very top of your cheekbone. And what we're going to do is press our thumbs. It's going to probably feel a little bit sore. It should. You're going to press your thumbs into that point while you breathe and just rest your fingers on your forehead. And we're going to breathe. So remember the importance of breath for distributing the energy and nourishing the meridians, right? So you have to breathe deep and full. And if you start to get dizzy, just slow it down, right? So we're going to start on our legs. And if this isn't comfortable, you can also just sit cross-legged. But if you're able to sit this way, it's better, because we're going to fold forward, which is going to put pressure on our digestive system. So you don't want to have a full stomach for this. Make sure you don't have a lot of food in there before you do this one. So find those points, and we're just going to breathe, right? So breathe deep and fold forward. So find the points and press, and we'll lift up on our inhale. Nice deep breath. Exhale, just fold forward, letting all the air out. And then lift up on the inhale. And fold forward on the exhale. Keep going. A few more breaths. Inhale to lift. Exhale. Good. Couple more breaths. Inhale up. Exhale forward. Good. One more. It's recommended that you do this a full minute, right? So you can come up now and release. We're probably not doing it a full minute, but if you want to on your own, and just take a couple of integrating breaths like we like to do between the poses, right? We want to make sure we're integrating what we've just done. And that too, it's recommended that you do that for longer than we're doing. So if you want to on your own. So for the spleen meridian, and actually this is going to be both spleen and stomach because they intermingle in the groin area, those meridians. So we're going to do the locust pose with our fists right here. You're going to lie on your fists on your belly. And what we'll do is we'll breathe deep, just letting the pressure, lift your legs and breathe deep, letting that pressure be there. And then after a few breaths, I'll cue you, we're going to lift as high as we can and hold our breath for about 10 seconds, and then we'll relax down. Okay, so bring your fists here and come onto your belly. Wedge them under there. You might need to adjust a little bit too. If it hurts your hands, just move it around as you come up because you're putting a lot of weight when you lift your legs. Okay, so start breathing deep and lift up. Legs together. Good, and just hold and breathe here. Nice and deep and full. Like I said, adjust your hands if you need to. Nice deep inhale. Exhale all the air out. Just keep the legs lifted. Your head doesn't have to be lifted, but that's the way I prefer. It's more comfortable for me. But you can put your head down if you want. Keep breathing. Good. Keep going. And we're going to hold the next one for 10 seconds, holding our breath. So take a deep breath and hold. Lifting your legs as high as you can, lifting your chest as high as you can. Right? And just hold your breath. Keep lifting, keep holding. Good. And release down. Take your hands out and relax on your belly for a couple of breaths. Good. Again, you need to take a couple of nice integrating breaths or longer and come up to sitting when you're ready for the next two meridians. So kidney and urinary bladder, right? The key word here is strength because they work together to give us our motivation in life, our vital energy. The kidneys are considered the storage tanks of the body, right? They're really important. The bladder regulates our fluid levels, right? So if you have like an imbalance in your kidney meridian, then you might be easily angered or irritable or depressed on the other end, right? So that's an indication of imbalance. For the bladder, it's mostly bladder problems. If you have bladder problems, like pain or whatever, it's also low back problems. So you could have low back problems. So strength, living without fear, accessing your inner willpower, conquering chronic illness or pain. Right? So for the bladder, we're going to start with the bladder, the yang pair. You're going to sit with so the bladder meridian runs up the back of the legs, right? So you're going to sit with one leg, well, extend both legs to start with, and then bring one leg in, foot in toward that inner thigh somewhere, wherever you're comfortable, however far you can bring it toward your groin. And we're going to kind of lift our sits bones. And we're going to be folding forward over the straight leg. So remember to fold forward starting with your pelvis and not doing this kind of a thing. So if you need to sit on a bolster, please sit on a bolster. So if you're tight or it's hard for you to fold forward, okay? Sitting on a bolster will really help and you'll get just as much benefit. So we want to press our back of our legs into the ground as we fold forward too. So again, you don't have to go all the way down, as far as you're able to, but we're going to lift our arms on our inhale. And then on our exhale, we're going to fold over that leg, pressing your leg into the ground, gently pulling yourself toward your leg. Don't force it. Good, keep going. So inhale as you lift. Exhale, fold forward over that leg, gently pull, press your leg into the ground. Good. Inhale, lift. A few more breaths. Exhale, forward. Good. Inhale, lift. Really reach those arms up. Bring your pelvis forward. Grab hold. Gently pull. Press your leg into the ground. Inhale, lift. Reach up. Exhale, forward. Good. One more. Deep inhale and exhale over. And go ahead and stack up. Bring both legs in front of you and just feel the difference in your legs. Okay, just notice. And then bring your other leg up, other foot into the thigh, pointing your torso over that leg. Again, lift the sits bones, right? I'll turn a little bit here. And I like to have my foot gently flexed, but you can do it however you like. So pressing your leg into the ground, inhale, lift, and exhale, fold over that leg. Gently pulling yourself toward the leg. Good. Inhale, lift. Exhale, over. Good. Full breath, full inhale, full exhale. Keep going. Exhale, over. I didn't count the last leg, but inhale, lift. How many times we did it, but I think that's about even. So go ahead and stack up, and then we'll bring both legs in front of us. So it's recommended you do 30 seconds or so on each leg, and then 30 seconds with both legs straight. So sit on a bolster if you need it. Lift your sits bones, right? Both legs are out in front of you. Lift your spine tall. Reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward, pressing your legs into the ground. Gently pull yourself toward your legs until all the air is out. And then lift up and fold forward. Lift up. You don't want to force it. Keep going a couple more breaths. You don't want to force yourself because you could hurt your SI joint, right? So you don't want to force the stretch. You never want to force it. You just want to gently pull. Okay, so not too much force there. Last breath. Exhale forward. And bring yourself up. And just feel your legs. Yeah, so that's for the bladder. Now the kidney meridian, I love back bends for the kidney. There's lots of different things you can do, but so we're going to do a back bend, a passive sort of back bend. So Sphinx position, excuse me, my nose itches. Sphinx position, if you want to use a bolster after a while to bring yourself into more back bend, but start with your arms on the mat, and then I'll kind of guide you if you want to make it a little bit more intense, the back bend. Okay, so bring yourself onto your belly, on your forearms. Yeah, I like to have my palms up. So it's just a small back bend right here, but you want to really press into the mat, lift your chest, and lift your head up at least somewhat, right? So you're creating more back bend if you can, and just breathe here. So nice deep even breath. And this is a really good position. Keep breathing. This is a really good position to do every day. There's a lot of benefits to Sphinx position, right? And you could be reading or watching TV and just hang out in Sphinx position, right? But there's a lot of benefits, and also, as you know, for the kidney meridian. So keep breathing a few more breaths, and if you want, you can bring a bolster into it and raise your elbows up and get a little bit more back bend going, right? So if you want to add bolster or not, keep going. Keep breathing. Good. Pressing up, lifting the head. Thinking nice, loving thoughts about your kidneys. Yeah. And go ahead and bring yourself off the bolster if you're on the bolster, and relax yourself here and take a couple of breaths just to integrate, right? You can lie all the way down if you want, or just sort of relax your upper body for a moment and just take a couple of breaths. Yeah. You could also go into an up dog, right? We didn't do that, but you can go into a more strenuous back bend or a more pronounced back bend like that if you want, and hang out there and breathe. Okay, for the kidney. Another little pointer about the kidney meridian is, I do this every day, is there's 2 points right under the collarbone, under each collarbone. That's the meridian. Those are kidney points, right, where the meridian starts or ends. I'm not sure. It ends there, I think. So all you have to do is just gently rub the kidney points right there. And you can do that anytime. You know, I do it every morning or whenever I think of it, right? So that's another thing that's helpful for the kidney meridian. So the next two are the liver and the gallbladder. So the word for the liver and the gallbladder is balance, right? So feeling, bringing yourself into balance, working through anger issues, detoxifying, improving your vision, creating ease and decisiveness. So the gallbladder is carries out the mission. It's the yang. The liver makes the plan. So the liver's the yin, and it makes the plan. The gallbladder carries the plan out. And in Chinese medicine, the liver is considered like a second heart because it's so important, right? It controls the eyes and the nervous system. Obviously, it secretes the bile, which digests our fats. It is completely tied in with your energy. So, like I said, if you have too much liver, you can be easily angered. If you have too little, you could be easily depressed. So they work together to carry out the plan, right? The motivation of your life, like whatever you're going to do in life. They are really important for that, and having good judgment around what you're doing with your life. So the gallbladder and liver poses will both be on our back, and the gallbladder. So we'll stay on our back with our knees bent. And I'm going to show you the gallbladder point because we're going to do that one first. And the liver is going to be a bridge pose. But the gallbladder point in the back of your head, I'm going to turn around. There's actually 2 of them. One of them's closer to the ear, right at the base of your skull, and then one of them's a little bit farther in. So you can really push on either of those because the meridians all run through our head as well. every one of them. We have meridians all over our head, right? So you can find gallbladder points and either closer to your ear here, the base of your skull, or a little farther in. But basically you just want to press with your thumb into those points. And we're going to sway our knees side to side as we breathe, basically. So come onto your back with your knees together, with your legs together. Okay. Pressing into those points gently with your thumbs. Inhale. Start to sway your legs over and exhale. Good. And all you're going to do is just sway your knees side to side and breathe deep and full, right? So inhale and exhale. Relaxing your legs. So this is also stimulating the liver meridian and the gallbladder meridians, especially the gallbladder, because it runs along your torso, right? So the gallbladder meridian runs along the side of the legs and the torso. So we're stimulating that by moving our legs side to side, as well as pressing into the gallbladder points. Okay, so keep going, a couple more breaths. Nice and full. Keep pressing into the back of your skull here. So we're probably not doing this a full minute, but it's recommended to do it a full minute. Yeah. Good. And then next time you lift your knees, stay there and release your hands and relax. Just take a couple integrating breaths, and we'll widen our legs apart a little bit because we're going to bridge. If you're not able to grab your ankles, just do a regular bridge with your arms by your side with this movement that we're going to do. But if you're able to grab your ankles, sort of work your shoulders down, grab hold and bring your feet close to you, right? If that's doable for you, have your feet on the ground. What we're going to do is inhale as we press our hips up, and we'll exhale down. And we'll do that for a while, and then we're going to hold up. I'll tell you when. We're going to hold the hips up, and we're going to keep breathing and squeezing our butt. Okay, so inhale, press the hips up. Good. Exhale, lower. Again, you can do this without holding onto your ankles. Inhale, press up. Really press the hips up though, and exhale down. Good. Just moving with your breath. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale, lower. Good. And then we're going to hold here. So next time you press up, really press your hips up, squeeze your butt, and keep breathing deep. Really, really breathe here. Really squeeze. Good. And press up. Just for a couple of breaths. One more. And then you can, on your exhale, you can let go of your grip and lower yourself down and relax yourself on the mat. Take a little moment to breathe and integrate. Good. And then we'll come up again to sitting. Come up slowly. All this deep breathing makes me a little bit dizzy. Dizziness is also an indication of an imbalance in the liver meridian. So there's another 3 more poses we're going to do that kind of cover most of the lower body meridians that I'm choosing because I think they're good ones. One of them is Parigasana or gate pose. So if you can be on your knees for this one, I'm going to adjust my, there, up on your knees, right? Put padding under your knees if you need it. Put a blanket or fold your mat up. Okay, and extend one leg out to the side. If you can, point your toes forward, right? And you want to imagine yourself between two panes of glass. So just let your tailbone just gently tuck under, lift your chest, and then take your arm up by your ear. This arm's going to rest on your leg. And you're just going to lean into that stretch, right? And just breathe here. Yeah. Keeping your pelvis a little bit forward so you feel like you're between two panes of glass. Head's lifted. Good. So this really gets into the spleen and gallbladder meridians that run up the inside of the legs as well as the sides of the legs and torso, right? So there's a few meridians that are being stimulated with this pose. Good. Let your shoulders stay relaxed down. You're not tensing the shoulder. Good. Good. And then we'll come out of that side and knees onto the mat for the other side, right? So extending that leg out. If you're able to point your toes forward, bring this arm up, curl the tailbone under a little bit to bring your pelvis in line so you feel like you're between two panes of glass, and lean over. So you just want to breathe, relax your shoulder, keeping this extended leg nice and straight, right? And breathe. So you're also getting that little bit of a stretch. If your toes are pointed forward, you're getting that stretch on the outside of your ankle, right? Which is also helping to stimulate the meridians. So good. Keep breathing. Good. And bring yourself back up. Knees on the mat. For our next, this is a twist, one of my very favorites, Bharadvaja's twist. So I'll face this way so you can see what we're going to do because we're going to bring ourselves back. Have your knees and your legs loosely bent and apart from each other. So however you're comfortable in that position, it's okay if they move when you twist, but basically you just want to sit with your legs loosely bent, lift your spine, bring your hand behind you like this, and just go into a twist, bringing your other hand to the mat, right? And pressing up and looking back. So this is going to be a little bit of a progression, and you can go as far as you want with it. So start here with this lifted position, breathing. Good. Looking back and up, a little bit up. And then if you want, coming onto the elbow, that back elbow, right? Going down a little bit toward the mat and breathe. Looking back and up. And then you can go a step further and bring your forehead onto your hands with your elbows wide. Like I said, only if you're able to and you want to, right? You can stay in any position. So keep breathing here. And if you're on your hands, bring yourself back to your elbow and take a breath. And back up to your hands and take a breath. Looking back in that twist. Good. And then bring yourself all the way back around, leaning back to bring your legs out in front of you to switch to the other side. I'm going to turn my body this way so your legs are in a loose bend. in front of you, lifting your spine, bring your hand behind you, and rotate, right? So follow with your eyes, looking back and up. So for me, this side feels really good. So you might notice, keep breathing, you might notice a difference in the sides, and just notice how this side feels compared to the first side, right? Keep breathing. If you want, you can come onto the elbow. And you can come onto the hands if you want, with your elbows wide. Good, and then coming back up to the elbow. Take a breath here, looking back. Good. And come onto the hands, all the way up. Keep looking back and breathing. And around to face forward. Yeah, and lean back a little bit so you can bring your legs out from under you. And just breathe here. Let your body integrate for the last pose that we're going to do. Like there's many poses you can do. Obviously, we're stimulating the bottom, we're stimulating our legs, the different meridians, and our torso and our sides. They run, like I said, all the meridians run through your head too. So if you want to massage your head, that's always a really good thing to do. But shoelace, or pretzel, it's called in Pilates, is this position where you stack your knees as best as you can, right? Fold your legs under you. If this is not doable for you, I would say maybe come onto your back. So you could come onto your back and do figure four stretch, right? The figure four where you lace your hands through and pull your legs in towards you. Or you could do happy baby. That's another good pose for stimulating the lower body meridians. You could do both of those, yeah, if this isn't doable. So let your body just kind of round forward over your legs, letting some more pressure come into the legs if that's comfortable for you. And just breathe. Yeah, breathe fully. You could also do pigeon, right? Pigeon's a good one to really put some pressure on the leg, the meridians running up and down the legs. And breathe. And I like to hang out in this position just when I'm just hanging out because I love this pose so much. It feels so good. So just like Sphinx, you could do this when you're sitting on the floor and you just want to hang out and read or watch TV. So we're going to come up and switch. So uncross, lean back, uncross, or switch if you're on your back. You want to switch your legs. Okay, try to get your knees stacked. I'm going to, while we're doing this pose and breathing, I'm going to just read or recite or read a little Rumi poem that I like because I love Rumi. So I thought it would be a nice way to end. So just let your body weight relax over your legs if that's comfortable for you, right? And breathe nice and deep and even. So it's a short verse from Rumi. If you want the moon, do not hide from the night. If you want a rose, do not hide from the thorns. If you want love, do not hide from yourself. Good. Take a couple more breaths here. And come on up. Like I said, you can do that one longer. It would be better if you could, but for the sake of the video, we're going to cut it a little short. So just bringing your fingertips or your hands together to connect the circuitry of the body, right? In namaste position, or prayer position, that's what this does, is it connects the circuitry in our body, right? So I like to do that to sort of balance, and take a breath here. And thank you all for joining me. I hope you find this helpful in your wellness practice. And I plan to be doing the regulatory channels next. So hopefully I'll get to that soon. And thank you all for joining. Be well. Take care. Bye for now.